Okay, this is War of the Suns. We're looking at Chinese War of Resistance 1937-1945, and we're looking at HQ units in this specific case. Now, HQs, there's really two types. There's the GHQ, which you can tell, but this is Chiang Kai-shek, and he's got his hierarchy number of 6 and his command activation rating of 2 in red. So that's how you know what a GHQ is. These are other ones. These are standard HQs here. The ones where they've got red underneath them means they've got restricted areas where they can deploy. Now basically an HQ unit, it doesn't have any stacking limitations apart from the fact, well, it doesn't count towards stacking, but you can only have more than one HQ in a particular hex if it's a GHQ and another HQ. Now the HQs, they have no attack capability, but they do have a defensive capability of 0. Now an HQ can be removed either permanently or temporarily. Now if it's temporary remove, well, let's not do that yet. First thing you can do is in the redeployment phase, an HQ can be moved any number of hexes, so long as it's following a route that an infantry unit could actually go through, i.e. it can cross any hex side that an infantry unit, or go into any hex that an infantry unit can do so. And that's if you're moving, you can move within just let me get my mind. You can move to any city or town that is actually sort of free of enemy units or enemies under control and as a legitimate path, or you can move directly to any hex that is currently occupied by a unit of your particular type or fraction. So like a Yen unit here, the Yen commander here could automatically redeploy to any of those two hexes. Okay, but it couldn't automatically redeploy to a hex occupied by a Komitang unit such as that one. Other types of movement that HQs can do, they can move during the movement phase, just treat them as infantry units, and they have a movement allowance of 6. Normally if you look at any sort of unit, the bottom right hand number there is the number of movement points a unit has. HQs always have a movement allowance of 6. Okay, now HQs can be removed in 2 ways. They can be permanently removed, or they can be temporarily removed. Now, a temporary removal can occur when your fraction basically says, "All right, I want to take that unit off the board." So you can take the unit and the HQ off the board and put it in the reinforcement pool. Now, similar sort of activity happens if an HQ is ever caught in a zone of control, an enemy zone of control, in a hex where there's no friendly units. It will be taken off the map and put in the reinforcement pool. You can also get in a situation where you can be attacked and eliminated, but if it wasn't cut off, it will go on to the reinforcement pool chart. Other things, if you're actually forced to retreat and you're not cut off, but you would be forced to retreat outside your operational area, which certain units are restricted where they can actually operate. You then go for a temporary removal as well. Okay, let me check a couple of other things. Right, permanent removal occurs if you're caught in an enemy zone of control and you're cut off with no friendly or allied units it's permanently removed from the game. If you're eliminated in combat while cut off, you're permanently eliminated. If there is an order of battle or specific event that says a unit must be removed for any purpose, that could result in a permanent loss of an HQ. Commentang HQs, where it says voluntary removal, you can't voluntarily remove like an allied unit, like which I mean a Western allied unit, like a US or British unit, but you can remove a Commentang HQ, which would be one where there is no fraction marked on it, if you were in a hex with nothing but fraction units. So if I was Chiang Kai-shek in this hex here with with these yen units here, I could actually remove my Commentang HQ voluntarily, but I couldn't voluntarily remove it if I was just inside a hex with Commentang units itself, if that makes any sense. Okay, that'll do for the first bit on HQ.